Hello there folks, my name is Spoonks and welcome back to another episode of Box Office Chat. This is the show where I break down the top 5 domestic box office results, see where each movie landed, and see how well each movie did. So let's get started. Number 5 was The Drama, making $2.6 million this weekend, bringing its domestic total to $44 million and its worldwide total to $101 million. So it surpassed a couple more milestones. It's about to get to $45 million domestically, and also the $100 million milestone worldwide, the 5th film in A24 history to do so. That is honestly insane, especially considering how the subject matter is handled in this movie, and you wouldn't expect this movie to have that much appeal internationally. If you've seen the movie, you definitely understand that this is more of an American issue, so the fact that it had this much of a pull internationally is again really impressive. The quality of the movie really, I guess, spoke to a lot of foreigners out there, and also the movie continues to be quite the surprise and the necessary surprise right now for the box office, as we've seen a lot of underperformers here and there throughout the month. So the fact that this movie was able to overperform to this degree is quite sensational. It's definitely going to crack 50 million domestically, and obviously it's in a very good place right now, 100 million worldwide on a $28 million budget. That is, again, sensational, outstanding, however else you can describe it. Really strong performance for The Drama. Truly exceeded a lot of expectations. Number 4 was Lee Cronin's The Mummy, making $5.5 million this weekend, bringing its domestic total to $23 million and its worldwide total to $65 million. So we're seeing an interesting performance with this movie. Domestically, it's just not having that pull that other horror movies had. It fell 59% from last weekend, which is unfortunate because, you know, I'm sure the studio was hoping for a much better result with this movie. You know, it's one of the few horror movies out right now. They were hoping this would be a breakout that we've seen for many others in the past, but it just doesn't seem like audiences are too interested to go and check it out. Domestically speaking, that is. Internationally, this is faring much better internationally. The numbers are much stronger, and because of that, it's tripled its budget worldwide. So we're seeing a large divide between international and domestic audiences with this movie. It's leading to a very interesting performance, I must say, for this movie. So it's not going to be a total money loser. It's not going to be a gargantuan flop, largely due to the international appeal this movie has, but domestically speaking, it's safe to say that this is going to fizzle out and be an unfortunate disappointment. Number 3 was Project Hail Mary, making $12 million this weekend, adding to a domestic total of $305 million and a worldwide total of $613 million. Again, man, this movie, it's unstoppable. It has officially surpassed the $300 million milestone domestically and the $600 million milestone worldwide. Absolutely insane. Even with it losing all of the IMAX and PLF screens it gained the last week, and dealing with the competition, people are still thirsty for this movie. They still want to go check it out again and again and again. Just absolutely insane numbers for this movie going forward. I do believe, however, we are heading for the slowdown period for this movie. As we kick off the summer movie season, there's going to be a lot more blockbusters that are going to, you know, steal the attention surely from this movie. So we're definitely going to start seeing this movie lose some steam. Not significantly, mind you, but definitely be on its way out as we approach the summer movie season. But again, this movie has performed like a summer movie in the early spring. So again, I don't think they have too much to worry about here, and the movie's still gonna extend its theatrical run, so it's still gonna reap in the rewards. Yeah, again, I've said it many times before, and I'm probably gonna continue saying it, but man, what a run for Project Hail Mary. Number 2 was the Super Mario Galaxy movie, making $20 million this weekend. Its domestic total is now at $385 million, and its worldwide total is now at $831 million. So it's approaching the $400 million milestone. It surpassed $800 million. It's pretty much locked for $900 million, and we will see $1 billion probably in a couple weeks from now. But I have said this many times talking about this movie. This is clearly not the box office phenomenon we saw with the first one, and I think, judging by where it's at right now, I think it's safe to say that this is probably going to land in a very similar place that Moana 2, Lilo and Stitch, and Minecraft movie landed, probably in that $420 million range domestically. I think it's still gonna get $1 billion. I doubt it misses the mark like Minecraft, but you never know, as I do believe that from this point on it's gonna have those family movie legs, at least until the next big kids movie. You know, again, this is the only one that's out right now that you can go see at the movie theaters, so it's gonna make the most out of that. And you know, there's nothing else animated really until June, so that it has that advantage as well. But again, just the response and the word of mouth, you know, wasn't what they were hoping this movie would receive, and I think that's why it's caused it to be a slight underperformer, and which is insane to say because it still made $800 million. Like, this is still a crap load of money, but you know, the first one was such a phenomenon. You would assume that this would go higher, especially with other animated sequels that have just shot to the moon, but this one is looking like it's going to come slightly under, but still, you know, $800 million is $800 million. This is the movie on its own still hugely successful, but again, you know, they were hoping for a bit more with this movie. And finally, let's end the video off with the number one movie of the weekend, which was Michael, opening with $97 million this weekend domestically and $218 million worldwide. This is the biggest opening for a musical biopic, topping Straight Outta Compton, Bohemian Rhapsody, Elvis, and Rocketman. It is the second biggest opening of the year so far, sitting behind the Super Mario Galaxy movie, but still topping Project Hail Mary, Scream 7, and Hoppers. And it is Lionsgate's sixth biggest opening ever. It sits behind Twilight Saga Breaking Dawn Part 2 and all four of the original Hunger Games movies. While I thought this movie would crack triple digits, it still doesn't surprise me that this movie shot so high this weekend. Again, it's Michael Jackson. What did you expect? He is the king of pop. His songs mean so much to so many people, and obviously a lot of people wanted to see the movie somewhat based off of his life. Even with the controversies and the production issues and the delays, the movie I still felt like was going to be largely successful, and it was definitely. I mean, again, it topped the musical biopic opening weekends, and despite some not stellar reception from certainly critics did not like this movie. Audiences seemed to like this a fair better, but not like loving it. It got an A- on Cinema Score, similar to Super Mario Brothers, and in terms of other biopics, Elvis and Rocketman. So that'll be interesting to see if that really does affect the movie's performance. But from what I have seen personally, it seems that the response has been much stronger than what seems to be reported, at least from like the Cinema Score rating. I've seen a lot of people really satisfied with how the movie presented the life of Michael Jackson. Obviously, I've seen the fans cosplaying and even singing and dancing at the theater. You know, do that responsibly. Don't be annoying or anything. But yeah, it definitely seems that this has really hit a core with like a lot of Michael Jackson fans and even just regular viewers who are interested in the life of the king of pop. So I could see this movie continuing to do well, but I could also see what happened with Super Mario Galaxy and it also slightly underperforming. But still, with these numbers and with how strong the response seems to be, you know, I mean, the numbers for this opening kept going up as we got further into the weekend. I think this is still going to be one of the bigger successes of the year for sure. I think it's going to play itself out throughout the early days of the summer, and certainly I think a lot of Michael Jackson fans and a lot of people interested in the somewhat realistic story of Michael Jackson's life are definitely going to go out and check this out. So yeah, a very strong start for Michael. And those were the top 5 domestic box office results for this weekend, but we're not quite done yet as we got another week ahead of us and new movies hitting theaters. And this weekend we're kicking off the summer movie season with Devil Wears Prada 2. Yes, after 20 years, they've got everyone back to do the sequel to the most fabulous, iconic movie of the summer of 2006, The Devil Wears Prada. Now, I know a lot of people aren't really expecting much for this movie. I mean, it's 20 years after The Devil Wears Prada. This is the movie kicking off the summer. I'm not sure if it's going to really bring it, but honestly, I think this has got a lot working for it. That first film was really, dare I say, iconic. I was like a kid when it first came out, and even I knew about that movie's popularity. It resonated with tons and tons of people. It was a big surprise back when it originally came out. And so I think the hype is there for this one. They have gone all out with the marketing for this movie. I have seen so much promo and marketing and ads for this movie all over the place. They are ensuring everybody knows this movie is coming out. It's one of the few films this summer geared towards a largely female audience, which I think is gonna help it out, stand out from the rest of the big summer blockbusters. And also, I really think that them getting everyone back to work on this movie, not just the main cast, but the original writers and director, also is going to largely help this movie, because again, it's a lot of the original team, so most people will be expecting the quality to be at least on par with that first film. Of course, if it falls under even just slightly, I think that's gonna largely affect this movie's box office performance. So it's got to meet those expectations, and it's going to be interesting to see how this fares compared to a lot of the other big summer blockbusters. So those are the two big factors affecting this movie for sure. But I still think this is going to really overperform, really surprise people this weekend. Not expecting like a Marvel movie opener, but certainly a strong start to the summer. But we'll see how well this movie truly does, as well as the rest of the movies that land in the top 5 on the next Box Office Chat. And that's going to do it for this week's episode of Box Office Chat. What did you all think of the results? Were you satisfied, unsatisfied? Comment down below and let me know. If you like this video, hit the like button. If you like this channel, hit the subscribe button. Follow me on all the social media links right there. And until next time, everyone, stay sharp.